This is Plant-Based Briefing. Butter lovers and seed oil haters are both wrong, new research confirms, by Charlotte Pointing at vegnews.com. And I'm Marian Erickson. This is the Plant-Based Podcast where I curate and narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I'm pleased to have permission from Veg News to share their content. I also read a Veg News article yesterday on the same topic called "What's the Deal with All the Seed Oil Conspiracies?" So feel free to check that one out as well if you haven't already. And now let's get to today's Plant-Based Briefing. Butter lovers and seed oil haters are both wrong, new research confirms, by Charlotte Pointing at vegnews.com. A new Harvard Health study has debunked the social media claim that butter is a health food. Avoiding seed oils for health reasons, another popular belief online, has also been debunked by the study. Butter has been a dietary staple for thousands of years. Historians believe humans have been making this animal fat-based spread since the Neolithic period, also known as the New Stone Age. Today, butter consumption is higher than ever. Research shows that between 2000 and 2022, butter consumption in the U.S. increased by 45%. But while butter is one of our oldest foods, consuming it in excess may have negative health effects. A new study from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has suggested that swapping butter for plant-based oils, including many of the heavily demonized on social media seed oils like canola and soybean, could reduce the risk of death by 16%. High butter consumption, however, was linked with a 15% higher risk of mortality. The findings directly contradict the strong narrative around fats that has emerged on social media in the last few years and heightened considerably in the last few months. A quick search for butter and health on TikTok brings up several videos from influencers with thousands of views peddling the message that animal fat is a superfood and we should all be eating more of it. A similar search for seed oils brings up plenty of content encouraging users to stay away due to their alleged inflammatory effect on the body. You can read more on the theories behind seed oil conspiracies linked here. But the science says differently. Research suggests that while butter does contain some nutrients, it is also high in saturated fat, which increases levels of LDL cholesterol in the body. High LDL cholesterol is a known risk factor for cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death in the U.S. and around the world. For some reason that is not clear to me, a myth has been floating around the internet that butter is a healthy fat, but there is no good evidence to support this. Walter Willett, MD, professor of epidemiology and nutrition at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, told CNN. Plant-based oils, on the other hand, are much higher in unsaturated fats like omega-3 and omega-6, which are associated with heart health. Of all the oils studied, the researchers found that olive, canola, and soybean came out the best. We need both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Soybean and canola oil have both, Willett said. Corn and sunflower oil have very little omega-3 fatty content. These can be part of a mix of different oils, but should not be relied upon as a sole source of plant oil. The health benefits of plant-based oils. According to the new study, swapping just 10 grams of butter with a plant-based oil was linked with a 17% reduced risk of total mortality and cancer-related deaths. 17% is quite a big change, especially when you look at the public health perspective. Imagine how many deaths we can reduce in the general population, said study co-author Yu Zhang, PhD. He added, "We are not suggesting that people should avoid butter entirely, but we are recommending that even a small reduction in butter in replacement for plant-based oils in a daily diet could lead to very substantial long-term health benefits." Willett also explained that while beef tallow wasn't included in the study, which was conducted using 33 years' worth of data from more than 220,000 people, the researchers expected that it would have a similar impact to butter on health. Like butter, beef tallow has risen in popularity on social media recently, assisted by growing interest in carnivore diets. In general, carnivore diets have been linked with a high risk of kidney stones, gout, and osteoporosis. In a strict carnivore diet whereby no plant foods are allowed, the body is stripped of any opportunity to have phytonutrients that protect us from cancer and many chronic diseases. Angel Luck, RD, recently explained to Veg News, linked here. These phytonutrients are exclusively found in plants. Raw carnivore diets, which involve eating uncooked meats, are also rising in popularity, and these also present a risk of parasites, foodborne illness, and nutritional deficiencies. The new Harvard Health study still supports a growing body of research that associates plant-based oils with better health outcomes. In 2023, for example, one study linked here, presented at the American Society for Nutrition's annual nutrition meeting, suggested that consuming just half a tablespoon of olive oil every day could reduce a person's dementia risk by 28%. Our study reinforces dietary guidelines recommending vegetable oils, such as olive oil, and suggests that these recommendations not only support heart health, but potentially brain health as well, lead researcher Anne-Jules Tessier, RD, PhD, said in a statement at the time. You just listened to Butter Lovers and Seed Oil Haters Are Both Wrong, New Research Confirms by Charlotte Pointing at vegnews.com, and I'm Marian Erickson, your host. And Drs. Dean and Aisha Sherzai have talked about that olive oil study, talking about improved brain cognition. And in a Facebook post they had done about it back in October of 2020, they talked about this study and said the conclusion was that long-term use of high phenolic and moderate phenolic extra virgin olive oil were associated with significant improvement in cognitive function when compared to the Mediterranean diet. The bottom line, olive oil, and based on this study, an early harvest high phenolic type has been associated with improved cognitive functions, and the data has been quite consistent about this finding. Some people may want to avoid it for other reasons, though, like heart health. But when it comes to cognition, it seems to be a good option among cooking oils. However, it does not have a high smoke point, so one shouldn't cook with it on high heat, and make sure it's not rancid or old. And 2 more episodes I will link in the show notes. 262, New Olive Oil Study Sparks Questions for Whole Food Plant-Based Eaters by Elizabeth Turner at forksoverknives.com. That was from 2022. And then a newer study, 863, First of Its Kind Study Challenges the Health Halo of Olive Oil by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com. This was a newer study from 2024. So as the science changes, it is important to keep up with the latest, and the media doesn't usually do that, unfortunately. So check those out, and please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.